Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn 6th class Social Studies, 3rd chapter Landforms. Children, there are different types of landforms. The land on which we will live will find the different landforms like mountains, hills, valleys, desert, plains, and plateaus. And let us see what is meant by a landform. The land on which we live is not uniform in size, shape, or height. In some places, it rises high to form hills and mountains with steep slopes, while in other areas, it may be low and flat for long stretches. As you travel from one place to other, you might witness changes in the height traveled from one place to another. This is known as the relief of a region. Now let us see what is meant by the relief features. The physical surface features of the land like mountains, plateaus and plains, etc. are called relief features. Children, before starting our lesson, let me find what is meant by geomorphology. The scientific study of landforms is known as geomorphology. The word geomorphology comes from the Greek roots geo, morph and logos, which means the geo means earth, morph means the form, and the logos means study. Therefore, the geomorphology is literally the study of earth forms. It means the different landforms. Geomorphologists are also landscape detectives, working out the history of the landscapes. Children, there are three main kinds of landforms. There are mountains, plateaus, and plains. Let us find individually what is meant by the mountains, plateaus, and plains. Children, let us see what is meant by mountains. You must have seen several hills or even been to places on some mountain ranges. Mountains are very high and they have steep slopes with very little flat land on them. You can look at the below picture regarding the mountains. Now let us see what is meant by plateaus. Plateaus are also highlands, but they have more flat lands with some hills in between them. The landscape is uneven with ups and downs, but not as steep as in the mountains. The Deccan Plateau is the largest plateau in India. You can look at the down picture here, the plateaus. Children, the next important landform is plains. Plains are level lands with gentle slopes. They are formed by the deposition of silt by great rivers. You can find what is meant by plains and how that plains looks in this picture. Children, mountains are very high and they have steep slopes with very little flat land on them. Children, look at this India map. You can find the different mountains like Himalayas, Aravalis, Vindhyas, and Satpura mountains. These are the important mountain ranges of our country. Children, let we will find hills in Telangana. In Telangana state, Adilabad, Nirmal, Jagityal, Vikarabad, Mahabubnagar, Nagar Karnool, Peddapalli, Bhadradri and Jaishankar districts have stretches of hilly terrain which we can see as pockets of scattered hills. Children, now look at this Telangana map and find the Satmala range. The Satmala range is located in Adilabad district and the Anantagiri hills are located in Vikarabad as well as the Rocky hills are located in Jagityal district. Children, these are all the hills comes under the Upper Telangana Plateau. Children, let we will find what are the relief features of Upper Telangana Plateau. Before knowing that, let we will see what is mean by relief features. The physical surface features of the land like mountains, plateaus and plains, etc. are called relief features. The Telangana state has varied relief features. The Telangana state has Upper Telangana Plateau in the west direction. It means the Upper Telangana Plateau is located at the west direction and the river Krishna and the river Godavari flows from eastwards through this plateau, as well as the twin cities like Hyderabad and Secunderabad, Sangareddy, Mahabubnagar and Nalgonda towns are located on the Upper Telangana Plateau. Children, let us see about the Lower Telangana Plateau. Children, look at this Telangana map. The light sandal color, it shows the Lower Telangana Plateau. These Lower Telangana Plateau slopes eastward, while the Warangal and the Karimnagar towns and the some of the remaining areas comes under the Lower Telangana Plateau. Children, let us see about the plateaus. Plateaus are also highlands, but they have more flatlands with some hills in between them. The landscape is uneven with ups and downs, but not as steep as in the mountains. The Deccan Plateau is the largest plateau in India. Children, let we will see the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau has a high and steep edge on the west and is known as the Western Ghats. The Telangana Plateau is itself a part of the Deccan Plateau and slopes to the east. The large portions of Telangana falls in the plateau region, which is called the Telangana Plateau. Children, now look at this map. You can find the Deccan Plateau and the Western Ghats. Children, let us see about the plains. The plains are level lands with gentle slopes. They are formed by the deposition of silt by great rivers. The Indus and its tributaries form the Punjab Plains. Jahlam, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj and Bias, these are the tributaries of Indus River. Children, look at this map to find the river Indus and its tributaries. Children, the Ganga River stretches through Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Bengal states and forms the Gangetic Plains. Children, now look at this map to find the Gangetic Plains as well as the river Ganga and its tributaries. The river Yamuna is the largest tributary of Ganga River. Children, together the two large plains like Punjab Plains and the Gangetic Plains are forms the Indo-Gangetic Plains. Look at in the map for Indo-Gangetic Plains. Children, let us see what are the states comes under the Eastern Coastal Plains. The Eastern Coastal Plains are on the eastern side of India along the Bay of Bengal. The large portions of states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal fall in it. Children, now look at this map to find the eastern coastal plains. Children, now we will find what are the states comes under the western coastal plains. The western coastal plains lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. The western coastal plains are smaller than the eastern coastal plains. Children, the plains begin at Gujarat in the north and end at Tamil Nadu in the south. It includes the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu comes under the western coastal plains. Children, now look at this map to find the western coastal plains. Children, you had noticed one of the important point over here. The Tamil Nadu state is the only state in India with territory on the both the eastern and western coastal lines. Children, let us see what is meant by delta. The word delta comes from the uppercase letter delta in the Greek alphabet. Because many river deltas are triangular like these letters. Children, before joining the sea, a river divides into a large number of small streams. It deposits a lot of sand and silt in this area which forms the delta. It usually forms a triangle. Children, look at this picture. You can find a river over here. Before joining this river into a sea, it forms into a large number of small streams, as well as it forms in the shape of a triangle. Children, now we will find how the soil is going to be enriched near the deltas. Every year, the flood water of the river brings slit laden with hunks just like decayed leaves, plants, and etc. with it and deposits them on the flooded areas. In this way, the floods enrich the soil of the delta every year. Children, now you can see the two main rivers of Telangana, the river Godavari and the river Krishna, flow from the Western Ghats. The river Godavari enters in Telangana near Basur of Nirmal district. These rivers are joined by many small rivers of the Telangana plateau and finally flow into the Bay of Bengal after forming large deltas. Children, now look at this map. You can find the two triangles which are formed with the rivers of the river Godavari and the river Krishna. After forming here two deltas, the river water flows into the Bay of Bengal. You can find the deltas near the eastern coastal plains. Children, now it is a question hour. These all are the general objective questions. Children, try to remember all these questions and answers. Children, now it is activity time. Children, draw a picture of each landform and prepare a flip book. Carry that book wherever you will visit. See the difference in landform you live and the place you visit. Children, take a picture of that landform and start collecting information regarding that landform. Children, now add that information and pictures to your flipbook and be like a little geomorphologist. After preparing this flipbook, share your thoughts and feelings with your parents and friends. Children, here is another activity for you. Children, take an outline map of India and Telangana. Now draw and locate the following places in that maps and prepare a mini atlas yourself and share your thoughts and feelings with your parents and friends. Children, by doing this activity, you will get a clear idea about hills, mountains, major rivers, the plateau regions, and the eastern and western coastal plains of our country.